Alright guys, so the other day
I clear coated the floor in the garage with concrete armor sealer, and it is
absolutely awesome. However,
I screwed up something big time. So
I'm going to show you what I did. In here, you can see my floor has all these zigzags on it. Now, the coating itself is absolutely awesome. If you look up close, I don't know if you can see, but it's basically like, it feels like glass. And that's what's absolutely awesome about this concrete armor coating that I got. It's clear, and it basically, you can see the shine on it. And it basically protects the concrete from all kinds of fluids that would leak out of a car. Like antifreeze, transmission fluid, oil, that kind of stuff. So that will all make it really nice and easy to clean up, and won't stain my concrete. Which comes to my second point. You can see all of these stains in my concrete. So here's what happened. I etched my concrete floor with muriatic acid and water, according to the instructions that I got with muriatic acid for etching floors. So what I did first was I put it in a pump bottle that that you'd normally spray like weed killer out of. And I came over here and I started in this corner and I was spraying it out of a pump bottle, and it was just going really, really slowly. And the problem with it going really slowly is you're only supposed to let the acid sit on the concrete for about 15 minutes. And there was no way that I was going to be able to pump enough acid out of the sprayer to cover this whole entire floor in a short amount of time, so that I could then let it sit for 15 minutes and then wash it out. So what I did was I mixed up the etch acid in a bucket according to the specs, and then I ended up pouring it on the floor. Now when I poured it on the floor, it just looked like water all over the floor, and then I spread it all out and I scrubbed it in with a brush, or not with a brush but with a broom. And when I did that, the whole floor looked nice and even, and then I let it sit there for 15 or 20 minutes, and it seemed to be doing something. Like there was a little bit of kind of like this smoky, dusty stuff coming off of it, so it looked like it was doing something noteworthy. And then I neutralized the whole thing with ammonia, and once I neutralized the whole thing with ammonia, I sprayed it all out with a hose. I cleaned the whole garage floor so it was spotlessly clean, and then I let it dry for like 3 or 5 days, something like that. So once it was all dry, the whole floor was perfectly clean. I cleaned it with a vacuum, I swept it, and it was absolutely immaculately clean. And it was all one color. It was all like perfectly white concrete. So I was like, great, all right, so now it's time to coat it. So I let it dry, I cleaned it, I did all the right prep, and then I put the concrete armor on it. And the concrete armor is like a gloss. It makes everything look kind of wet. And that is really cool. I love it a lot. I'm really happy with that product. But at the same time, it actually brought out all of the spots where I initially poured the etch. So what I'm thinking is, these darker areas are the spots that etched the floor better than these lighter areas. And you can see through the whole garage, you can see I was basically just waving a bucket of etch all over the garage, pouring it all around, and then spreading it around with a broom. And by doing that, I apparently etched certain areas of the floor way more than others, and it was brought out by the concrete armor sealer that I used. So honestly, I would highly recommend this sealer, because it looks absolutely phenomenal. But I think I would etch the floor differently next time. I'm not entirely sure of how I would do it differently, other than making sure that what I poured out of the bucket covers the entire floor, so the whole floor is a little more evenly etched. You can see I did a pretty poor job of it. Well, I thought I did a great job at the time, but I obviously didn't. So anyways, that is the update on my floor. And I think I'm gonna start moving some things in here now that the garage floor is nice and dry. It's been drying for about 5 days now. So it's pretty dry. I probably won't put a car in here yet, but I might put, you know, a few workbenches or something like that. So anyways, I just wanted to give you an update on my floor and how it's sort of a modern art piece now. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to move in. So anyways, that's the garage update. Have a wonderful rest of your day.